So, hello everyone. We are here for a super cool session today, and I have Kuba and Christian from Piwik PRO. I have the Chief Product Officer, the Chief Technology Officer. So, we're about to have a very interesting conversation when I will ideally grill both Christian and Kuba about what's next for Piwik PRO. But guys, because I don't want to, I want to do like a slow burn on the grilling. I just want to give you like a few seconds just to introduce yourself. Let me know how you ended up at Piwik Pro. So who wants to start? I'm gonna start with Kuba because he has the new Piwik Pro hoodie. It's the blue one that I like the most. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, so actually, we are both like data analytics and activation platform as well as clothing company. So like we all have Piwik Pro hoodies right now. And yeah, so maybe to briefly introduce myself, I have been with Piwik Pro since the very beginning. So joined more than 10 years ago. Uh, in the meantime, I was responsible for like different roles, going from engineering to product management and then back to the technology. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm like overseeing the technology and actually I'm making sure that something that like Christian figures out with the team is actually possible to deliver. So yeah, that's my role here.
That's awesome. How about you, Christian? Because I know you're a latest addition.
Yeah, I'm the new kid in class, right? So with trying to balance Cooper's 10 years of experience, I've been here, yeah, for how long? 3 or 4 months. So as part of the merger between Cook Information and Piwik Pro, we decided to divide the role of me being handle of the being responsible for the product part, so defining what we should build and why, and then Cooper makes it happen as mentioned. So new to Pivot, but previously been also working a lot within the analytics space, both on client side back in the days, implementing Omniture Analytics back when that was the name. So uh, saying a bit of how old I am, and then I was also on consultancy side. And then latest for the last 8 to 10 years on the software side of it, working with product management within SaaS companies, and yeah, and really excited about now also joining Cooper on Pivot Pro's journey forward.
Awesome, awesome, and I'm excited for you guys as well. And I was looking forward to having this conversation today because it's been some crazy 24 months for all of us. I mean, for us as practitioners, for you guys as a vendor side, it's a lot of things have happened in the market with the sunset of the Universal Analytics platform. Then people moved on to GA4, to Amplitude, to Piwik Pro, and to others that I'm not gonna mention because some of them I don't like, but that's another story. I have full editorial rights here to say this. It's just that the market right now is at a space where um, they are looking for the right solutions for them. And I'm not one of those people that is crying after universal analytics because the world has changed, the industry has changed, the tools that we use have changed. And obviously, we have these privacy considerations, which I know matter a lot for the team at Piwik Pro. But there's a lot of questions into what is the right tool for us, what is the right tool for our business. So I was hoping that today I have some questions that I want to run with you guys through, also some questions from the community, because as you guys know, I was going on LinkedIn and I was telling people, give me your uncomfortable questions, and you have to listen to the end to find out if you won one of the special edition limited PV Pro hoodies, because we are gonna award 6 people. Because of generosity here, we're gonna award 6 people with a brand new PV Pro hoodie, blue or black. The blue one is nicer. And yeah, I'm just super excited to chat with you guys today. And Christian, actually, my first question is for you, right? Because you were mentioning you're coming from cookie information. So, with the push towards first party data and the merger with cookie information, how is Piwik Pro planning right now to support businesses in handling privacy regulation and maximizing, the use of data?
Yeah, yeah. So just taking one step back, I would say the merger of Piwik PRO and Cook Information was a natural step for both companies. So there was a long history of collaboration and knowing each other, and also just fundamentally we share the same vision on how privacy and marketing should work together. So it made a lot of sense. And then, as you also mentioned, our key objective is in this area is to assist in, I would say, bridging this gap that we see between ensuring that we protect users' privacy and still also enable the marketeers to have a data-driven operation to meet their objectives. And of course also again ensuring end users privacy, and but also that they're getting the relevant marketing communication that they also expect. So not saying it will be easy, but I think we have a strong foundation with the combined forces to expand from. And as you might know, both organizations already do offer products that supports the marketeer in their work, helping getting the best data and the insights while remaining compliant all the steps away along that, right? And of course, we've not been together that long, but we've also already come a long way, at least combining the two platforms by releasing integration here a couple of months ago that then ensures that at least they are seamlessly connected, having the data from the two platforms merged together. So yeah, exciting times ahead, but I think already we've taken some good first steps.
Yeah, you're right. And also when I saw the announcement that you guys merged, I was like, you know what, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense because one of the strongest points that Piwik Pro had, and I think it turned around a lot of people's heads towards it, just like in that meme when you're just like walking with your analytics tool, and then you see Piwik Pro, and it stands towards protecting, users online and protecting data and so on. That's what made a lot of people turn their heads and choose to use Piwik Pro, and I'm one of those people because I use it for my blog, and I don't need to track anything about my
Mm.
user. I just want to know if people read my shit and like it, and that's it. So being able to use a solution that helps me do this in an ethical way and in legal way, that's why I use it. That's why Peter Mayer or Seymour that uses it for their technical marketing handbook. So for us that are in this space, it's kind of like it was great. But I know that PV Pro doesn't only do privacy, and I know, and I'm saying this with full responsibility. Like, yeah, it's a huge thing that you guys are focused on privacy, but at the same time, it's not a one-trick pony tool, and I think people should know more about this stuff. So I want to like ask a, a, a lot of one of the questions that comes up a lot is Piwik Pro in the community, at least is Piwik Pro the last marketing analytics tool? Or because right now the tools that we have are amazing. I'm not saying you guys are the only ones that have a great tool, but the tools are not focused on the marketer, on the person that does advertising, that does campaigns and so on. It's very hard because look at all the changes, and I'm not going to name names,
Mm.
but there's a lot of changes that have happened recently that makes people be a bit like, what's next? So I had a question for you, Kuba, because you it's kind of like in your detriment. A lot of platforms have like this very black boxy type of advertising ecosystem. So I'm wondering, like, how is Piwik Pro different than this? How are you guys solving for this black box advertising ecosystem that happens?
Yeah, so when I hear ads and black box, I immediately think of Google. And to be able to answer this question directly, I guess I need to provide some additional context. So when it comes to Google, they from the very beginning they envisioned Google Analytics as product working really closely with ads. So in fact, Google Analytics provides data to better target ads, and we believe that it's a bit odd situation that you work with the very same company to both provide ads as well as report on their success. And if we take into account the machine learning, so we end up with a reality where we use performance max campaigns to do the stuff for us. We only assign the budget. And at the very end, we use the data-driven attribution model, also owned or controlled by Google, to report on the effects of the campaigns. And yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of trust involved in this relationship. And we believe that it shouldn't be just about trust. It should be about the actual data. So especially when we are like talking about really huge advertising budgets. So to answer your question directly, how are we different? So first of all, we are not running any ad business. So our sole interest is to provide high quality of data and reports to support the decision making. When it comes to integrations, we aim to integrate with a wider marketing ecosystem. So not only Google, but also others like Microsoft or Facebook. And here, speaking of Google, we have direct integration with this ecosystem already. So it's not only for like reporting on ads, but also about pushing the audiences directly to Google Ads to be able to better target ads. And finally, we decided to not go with machine learning. So, for instance, to solve problems like low opt-in rates connected with the recently introduced consent mode, we decided to take a bit different approach with going with non-personal aggregated data to deliver the actual data that should speak for itself.
I like that. And now that you're mentioning audiences, I know you guys are working on the CDP component that helps you actually push these audiences that, are able to build and support people. So, like, what's going on there with the CDP and the audiences? Like, where are we now? Because one of the questions that everyone has is like, when is it like officially gonna be available? How are we gonna use it? How is it different? So it's a lot of excitement on this topic.
Yeah, I can put a few words into this. So yeah, the CDP module is our new module, right? And also has been kind of the last piece in putting together more, again, this integrated one-stop shop solution for both the data collection, the analytics, and now also the activation. So here's the CDP, and as Kuba mentioned, we have now a very strong integration with Google Ads and have released the first part, which is about the integration of feeding customer audiences into Google Ads with the customer match. So that is really big, and we'll be also following up soon with also the ability to upload conversions to Google Ads. So a lot of things happening in that area, and also kind of I think speaks into the evolution of our CDP, where we could say we have, like, I would say, a very powerful CDP that has a lot of possibilities, but perhaps not equally accessible for everybody, because it might require some technical insights into configuring webhooks and things like that. So that's also what we want to do with now the Google Ads integration, to make it more easy to use and tying into the primary use cases that people have, right? So that is a big step. And then another one, what's also cooking that is worth highlighting, is that we are also, in a not so distant future, we will be also releasing the CDP module to our core users. So the free version of our
Oh, that's
product.
great news.
Yeah, I'm also really excited because really excited about also getting in the hands of the community, so we can have the community brain also work for us in feeding into, okay, what are all the use cases out and how can it be utilized even further, right? So just as we already now are getting tons of valuable feedback from our other products from the core community. So I think that would also be a key step in getting even more out of CDP for our users.
That's really exciting, and I'm also happy to know about the Google Ads integration because uh, every time you talk to somebody that's not familiar with another analytics tool and they spend money on ads, and you guys know that the first question is, what about Google Ads? What about the reporting? What about campaigns performance? What about pushing audiences? And in general, I think right now the whole advertising slash analytics slash privacy world, it's a bit kind of like all over the place because of the consent mode thing and how many times it changed and like things that people find out that you actually don't need to send the status because it's automatically updated, but people were updating the status of the consent. And I imagine like it's so many changes for people that use the classic tools that they are used to. And I know you guys you have your own tag management and your own consent solution, but like, do you guys have those issues? Or if you're on Piwik Pro,
Yeah, it was a big change for the whole industry. It was like really, really visible that there was like plenty of work to be done to address that problem of like consent. And yeah, for Piwik Pro itself, it wasn't that big. It's because we've had consent management as part of our stack for the last 6 years. So, like in technical terms, it was just about implementing an integration between our consent manager and tag manager and the consent signals. So this is something that can be set up within less than 1 hour. And also given the right timing with consent mode and the merger that happened a few months ago, we used this opportunity to release a seamless integration with cookie information, meaning that if you integrate with cookie information, you have consent mode V2 implemented out of the box.
that's awesome. And like I imagine that if you're a practitioner, like the less headaches you would have to figure this out. Because I really feel for people. Luckily I'm in experimentation, so for me it's not as bad as it used to be when I was an architect, and I had my experience of implementing consent mode and suffering and dying inside because you never know if it's right, and until you figure it out it takes like days, not 1 hour. So that's awesome. And I guess again, like it's in my opinion, and this is not me being a fan, but like the less stressful the implementation part is, the more you would have time to actually focus on doing something with data and making decisions. And I think again in our industry, unfortunately, we went from like super comfortable to super uncomfortable, where now we need to figure out what's DMA, what's privacy, to learn SQL, to learn BigQuery. Like we're kind of like, and I think it's good because a lot of people were comfortable. So I think it's good for us to be kept on our toes. But I also can't imagine, why would you make it so hard to respect users' privacy? Why would you make it so hard to have like the basic rights of a user online? And that's again like one of the coolest things for me as a user is the fact that I know that I'm not violating nobody's privacy and I'm not collecting nobody's data. So I'm like, I don't even have a consent banner on my website because, in Europe, you guys are probably one of the few ones that you can use without the consent banners. I don't even know who else is. But that for me was like sold, like that's it. Talking about taking action and reporting, and a lot of questions that happen, I actually use your own reporting because I like it and I make videos about it, and I'm a simple person, I don't want many things. But of course when it comes to businesses, I know you guys have some BI reporting integration. And I also know, and I mean, I know you guys have real-time reporting coming, and I want to know when and what. So what BI integrations you guys have, what's coming next, and when is real-time reporting coming?
Well, I can start on the BI integration, and then we can quickly move into the real-time reports, is where I hear the excitement, right? So, yeah, we have several integrations to BI tools. So we have native integrations we've built with Looker Studio and Power BI and Supermetrics, to name a few, and then also I expect more to come. We have like a open API that also makes it easy to have more BI integrations built also by third-party partners or the community. So it's also not about us having to build and own everything by ourselves, but just kind of make the foundation available so we can have even more of these. So not only BI integrations, but also others, right? So that is, of course, the BI integration, which is about giving the ability for users that have more kind of custom needs of having the data visualized, that it provides a high amount of flexibility. So that is the primary use case I see it. And then also just perhaps highlighting that then it doesn't mean, as luckily as you yourself, you have a lot of users also finding big value of our in-tool reporting. So that's also something we are constantly improving. I think it was last month we released a set of improvement to the dashboard so you can customize it even more, right?
Yay.
So yeah, you noticed. That's good. So I would say it's equally important to ensure that both the in-tool data visualization and then also the one through the integrations to Power BI are able to accommodate users' needs, right? Because yeah, bottom line, it's all about turning the data into some insights and ultimately into some actions. That's what it's all about. And then we might have different preference where we need to get that. So we're constantly focusing on getting both sides
Random
improved. Yeah,
question right now that you're saying this.
yeah,
And you guys don't have any quota limitations when you're doing using Looker Studio, right? Like you can just go crazy.
Yeah,
yeah,
no
yeah.
limits. Like there are like limits, like but on really really high level to protect the infrastructure, but
Of
there
course.
is no quota.
Oh man, that's cool because I remember when the first time quotas appeared, and like you couldn't even refresh because it might have been your last refresh on the dashboard if you use other tools. So that's great to know. But let's not deflect from the most important question that everyone is excited about. And I've been asking you this for a long time. When is real time reporting coming? I'm waiting on it. I'm excited. I'm vain. Kuba, I want to see how many people are live on my website.
Okay, okay. So like I'm also really excited, and yeah, like one insight now that it won't be called real-time reporting, but real-time dashboards. It's to emphasize the fact that it won't be a set of reports that are like fixed. It will be just it will be a dashboard where you can configure all the widgets, all the metrics and dimensions that you want to use. So full flexibility here because there are like really different cases on how users would like to work with real-time
Of
data.
course, yeah. If they have Black Friday, Cyber Monday, who knows, different. So you can basically adapt it to your use case. So for instance, if I launch a blog article uh that is like big, I can adapt the real-time dashboard to be specific to my article, and I can look at, I don't know, source mediums and clicks and whatever I
Yeah,
want.
exactly. So you can have multiple dashboards. Like imagine, like you are a publisher, you have like different needs. You like you
Oh,
are
that's
launching
cool.
some real-time campaign or like some content. You can have different dashboard. Obviously, you can also use segments there or compare those segments to see the data coming in real time. And you can even like use the dashboard for debugging purposes. Like imagine you are
Yeah,
like
yeah,
doing
yeah.
your setup and you would like to see it in real time. So not only the raw session log that you have in Tracker Debugger, but also like the whole dashboard. So yeah.
That's really
Mm,
cool. I didn't even know that, and I was prepared for this, but that's really cool. Oh
yeah,
man,
and
I'm excited.
when it comes to rollout, it's like already in progress. So it will be
Okay.
happening over the next few months. And as far as I know, you are on the short list to get early access. So
That's great
Like,
because I am
stay
launching a
tuned.
new article soon. So I think this is a great opportunity to test it out and show to people how it would look like. And oh, yeah, that's exciting. That's great, great news. Well, I also want to make sure that we focus on the community questions because I told you I collected 6 questions from people. And if you are still listening here, all of you guys that I will mention next want a Piwik Pro hoodie. So make sure that if you hear your name, go and reach out to Martin, and he will walk you through all the details to get your amazing new Piwik Pro hoodie. So the first winner, I have actually sound effects. There you go. There you go. So the first winner
Smooth.
is Doug Hall. And he says this. Doug Hall says, a question I like to pose to analytics vendors is, do you run your own tool on your platform? I always ask in interviews, who do you think has the biggest uh, GA data set? I honestly don't know for sure, but I always want to look at the GA for GA. So do you guys look at the Piwik Pro for Piwik Pro?
Yeah, so like it's actually a really fun question, and I really like to answer it. And yeah, we are using our own medicine, and yeah, like I know that as part of the question, like there was like request to share some like maybe details, and I can operate only on a high level, but I logged in yesterday to the instance to get some like insights.
Yay,
And
let's see.
and yeah, I have a few of them noted down. So first of all, the most used module is analytics. That's quite obvious, but what's not that obvious is the thing that in some cases we have plenty of events generated in the tag manager and administration itself, and
Okay.
that is obviously happening mostly during the onboarding process, and then the focus shifts. When it comes to features that are like really heavily used, besides obvious things like built-in reports and dashboards, there was one that catched my eye, and it was like sharing and exporting the data. So plenty of events connected with that. Uh, when it comes to the most busy work day, it's Tuesday for some reason, with the least busy day being Friday, and that's kinda obvious.
Yeah,
And user locations. So most of the users come from the US, but we have also plenty of them from Germany,
interesting.
Netherlands, and France.
Interesting. The US. Okay.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's like really connected with our freemium plan as well.
Yeah.
Uh, And I have also one quite actionable insight. So I was checking the different dashboards, and I checked also the dashboard for the tag manager. And I noticed is that the most frequently used tags are like, first of all, the custom event, which is quite obvious,
Yeah.
but the equal amount of events are there for the custom code tag. And what does it mean for us? That potentially we could do a research to check what exactly is implemented with those
Yeah.
tags, because maybe with introducing 2 or 3 new templates we will be able to make the life of marketers easier to be able to manage their setups.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. And you should do that research because who knows, like maybe it's kind of the same thing. Oh, that's so cool. But I selfishly want to know how many people use session logs. That's my favorite thing. Like I'm such a stalker. Like the like I always like to go to session log. It's
Yeah,
like, oh,
Now
so
I
you
know
will get real-time dashboards. Then you
I
might
know, but I
find
didn't
a new
have one
baby.
yet.
Yeah, I know.
I know that's lame. I'm such a stalker. But that's really cool that you guys are using the tool, and I do like the fact that you want to do research. And I think, yeah, I would be curious as well to know what type of custom code people would use. So that's really, really cool. And thank you, Doug, for the question, and I hope you enjoy your Piwik Pro hoodie. And I want to go to the next question. Oh, it's from Josh Silverbauer. And Josh is asking, and I might know some stuff about this, but I won't say. But Josh is asking, are there any plans to incorporate AI in the future, meaning predictive analytics and data-driven attribution and so on? I will shut up
Yes.
about this.
Yeah, I can take that one. And the question, the answer is yes. So we have recently established a dedicated AI team to explore how we can utilize that in our products. And predictive analytics is definitely one of the opportunities that's being explored. Might not be the easiest one, as I understand, but that's one of the ones on the plate, right? So currently we have this team which is doing this product discovery, which looking into what are the possibilities from a user perspective, and also, of course, from a technical perspective that perhaps Kuba can elaborate on afterwards. But seeing from the user perspective, what at least I'm very aware of is that if we're not able to solve some existing problems in a better way, utilizing AI, then it will just be a buzzword we apply, and I want to avoid that. But that being said, I definitely see some existing user problems that now with the use of AI we could address even more effectively that we're able to do now. So yeah, so as mentioned, it's still in kind of investigation phase and figuring out. But some of the use cases that are being looked into is like predictive analytics. So very interesting because it could hopefully be some of the things we're moving away from taking decisions on historical data and then move more
Mm.
into getting insights into future outcomes. That would at least be something that I think a lot of people would value, right? Then we're also looking into anomaly detection. So
Oh, I love
alerting when
that.
something, when alerting when something is out of the ordinary, and where you don't need to define what is out of the ordinary, because right now the how you could solve that is setting up a bunch of alerts, but you could do that, I think,
More
many
proactive.
days. Yeah, and not still not cover some anomalies or some insights that might come from that. So that's definitely also one. And then, as you've seen also from AI and many other tools, this co-pilot use case that we've seen applied is also something looking into. So for us, it would be assisting the users in finding the right data
Mm.
and hopefully also lowering the barrier for using a marketing analytics tool for perhaps some less experienced users. And then the final one to perhaps also mention is if we can also, through the use of AI, ensure a better data quality, so cleaning up the data, and by that also the insights. So one area could be exclude bot traffic, which is a headache for many websites where a huge amount of the traffic coming to the website constitutes of bots. So using AI to better detect and exclude that could be a way of, again, getting better data to take your decisions on.
Oh man, I love that.
And this is a short list. And if you, Juliana, have some good examples or someone listening into this, be happy to hear about them. So please reach out because it's still like in the open area of figuring out where we can provide the most value with this.
Yeah, I had to talk with Piotr and about this, and I was like
Yeah.
extremely excited. But I don't want to share with people what I shared with him, just for you
Okay.
guys only, because I don't want other people to get any ideas. But I think it's a really, really. I like the fact that you are pragmatic about it, and you're not, like thinking about just buzzwording and creating some
Mm,
random shit that just looks good on paper, but it has no utility to the regular user of Piwik Pro, which is pragmatic, is focused on, like quality, is focused on sturdiness and robustness. Like that's how I see the Piwik Pro user in general. Somebody
yeah.
that just wants to do good work. Not saying that other tools don't have people that want to do good work, but that's how I feel from the community. So that's really, really exciting. Kuba, do you have any thoughts you want to share on this?
Yeah, like from the technical point of view, I wanted to add my 2 cents. So we already did the technical, like initial MVP, and what's really good is that AI is really working well with time series data. And to add some more details or flavor to what Christian mentioned regarding anomalies. So it won't be, we want it not to be just about detecting the anomaly, but also trying to find the cause based on the data that we already have. And yeah, there are also two technical challenges connected with that. So obviously, like accuracy, but besides that, we have to make sure that when we are training the models, we are only using the data coming from one tenant. So, like if we have the public clouds, we don't want to mix that data. Like that would be a no-go. And
Yeah.
obviously, also checking the pros and cons of using different models, because we have open source models, we have cloud LLM models, and we needed to research that to make sure that we go with the optimal solution.
Yeah, that's important. I actually had a rant about this on social media the other day because in my job, I do work with models myself, and I always think that is like while it might seem easier in a way to work with a commercial language model, it's also very hard from a strategic and privacy perspective, scalability perspective, because you're like at the hands of who, Anthropic or OpenAI and so on. Those models are great, but when you want to build something that you want to scale long term, you have to work with a transformer or a smaller model or adapter that you can train on your data, because LLMs don't work really good on specialized use cases. I have my own feud, which I don't want to bring into this into this workshop about AI, but
It
I'm
sounds like
glad.
we are aligned on that area.
Yeah, like I don't, and I do this for clients, and I have a case study coming up soon because you guys know I always talk about natural language and entity recognition. And it's like something that I actually do at my job, and I feel like there's not enough understanding of what AI really is because it's so mainstream that people automatically think when they hear AI, oh, ChatGPT or generative AI. But AI has been around since the 1940s. Like predictive, analytics or audiences, RFM, this is still AI. It's not what you guys think. So I need to stop because I'm gonna go on a old angry lady rant. But yeah, I really appreciate the fact that you guys are pragmatic, because this way you will make sure that you're gonna make the right choice that is the most safe for your users, but also safe for yourselves as a company. So I love that. That's really good to know. Um, Cool. I and now we finally something more in what I do. So people are here. I have two new winners. We have Shiva Manjunat and Romeo Santiago. Congrats, guys! You won a Piwik Pro hoodie, and both of them are asking you, how does Piwik Pro collect or pass experimentation data into the tool? And actually, Shiva works at Motive, and Romeo works at Optimizely. So that's an interesting question. Who wants to
Yeah.
take this one?
Yeah, so it's a bit more technical, so like naturally something for me. So yes, since at Piwik Pro we have full support for the session scope, it's really easy to integrate A/B testing tools. So we integrate with A/B testing with use of custom dimensions on the session in the session scope. So you create new custom dimensions, you pass there the information about the variant and the experiment, and later on, you can use those dimensions either in reporting or in segmentation. So imagine you have a report with like some data, and at the very end, you have also the conversion rate. If you apply different segments, you have like different conversion rates, and you simply are able to compare that. And when it comes to actual tools that we integrate with, we have like a few of them, and those include Optimizely, AB Tasty, VWO, and OmniConvert, wink wink.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, with Valentin. Yeah. Shouts to Valentin and OmniConvert. That's awesome. And when once real time is gonna be live, you can also test your can QA your A/B test in real time with the real time reporting. Would that be something that's possible?
Yeah, obviously,
Oh,
like
that's
you
great.
can use those dimensions and metrics, and it's up to you how you are gonna structure your own dashboard.
Yeah, I imagine that would be super helpful to when you're running A/B tests. So I'm so happy. I'm still not getting over the fact that you're doing a real time dashboard versus just showing a map, but I don't want to speak about that topic. Yeah, so,
Yeah, the
shut up,
map is
Juliana.
there as well. So like,
No, I don't want to. I'm trying to be like impartial in this, so I don't get fired. I will edit this out. Don't worry.
sure.
Thank you for that, Kuba. And we have three more questions to go through. And congratulations to Mikhail Gonera. I hope I pronounced your name right. Um, he's asking, it would be interesting to hear what the future will bring for the integration between analytics and CDP modules. We already talked a bit about this, Christian.
Hmm.
But like, was
Yeah.
there anything you want to add to Mikhail's question?
Yeah, I can add a bit, right? So now, as Michael also brings up, it's the integration with analytics, right? Because that is one of the key value to our users for the CDP, that has this close integrations of analytics data. So when you enable it, you have around 70 user attributes out of the box, meaning you already have a lot of data to work on within your CDP, right? And then, as I mentioned, still young, so a lot of the things going forward is about, as I see, very much hone in on the use cases and help customers implement those more effectively, right? Because what I think might be struggling is this: when you have a product like this that has such a big flexibility, enabling to do so many things, it can be tricky from the user perspective. Figure, okay, it can do everything, but how does it fit? What are the use for me to do it, right? So I think that's uh, both kind of making some of these more out of the box, and then I think it could also be a lot about just being better at guiding users into which integrations and use cases would make be relevant for them. So what are your objectives? Here are your opportunities, or what is your tech stack? And then based on that, we could help kind of figure out where the individual user could get most value from this. So that's some of the direction going there. But as Michael also mentioned, I think this analytics data is something that kind of stands out, that you have all that out of the box. Uh,
Random question now that you're mentioning this. So if I would build audiences in the CDP, can I send them to the A/B testing tool and use those in a variant?
Yeah,
uh,
so
yeah,
I can take this one. So like we have support for webhooks. So if the A/B testing tool accepts incoming webhooks, then yeah, surely.
That would be interesting because if you can build these cool predictive audiences and they fit with the goal of an experiment that you do, would be something really cool to play around with. That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
cool, cool, cool. Well, congrats, Mikhail, for winning a Piwik Pro hoodie. And then the next question is from Jakub Nijinovsky, and he's asking. This I like this question. I'm gonna grill you with this one question. You would rather not be considered just as a new way alternative and to stand out more amongst competitors. So, what is your approach or angle to be more distinguishable or unique in the market? I like this question. Come on, Christian, let me grill you.
Yes. Yeah, I'll do my best. We talked a bit about it
We
at
did,
the
yeah.
intro, right? So, and I think, like, first I want to state is that we definitely don't underestimate the value of being considered a universal analytics alternative, right? Meaning that following up where universal analytics left or was left, because Google has spent what 15, 20 years teaching everybody how a marketing analytics platform works, and that for sure doesn't change overnight. And while our product logic, if we could refer to as that, ties very much up to the Universal Analytics Standards, which is still very valid. It is a key decision driver for many of the users adopting our product, that it's easy to understand and easy to use. So that is also why we previously more kind of positions ourselves also as a universal analytics alternative. And as mentioned, it still holds true, and being proud of that. But as some of the things we've talked about also right now, you also just get a lot on top of that, why we now also feel that this positioning ourselves as an integrated marketing analytics platform is due kind of taking it a step further, right? So
Yeah.
and
And
then
also,
yeah.
I think what you guys are doing on top is kind of fitting with the reality of the world today, not with the reality of how Universal was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Because a lot has changed in the space since 2019 until today, including how people behave, how they consume, the preferences for different devices and so on, but also how do we collect data and how much data we can collect, what's how does that data look that we can collect.
Yeah.
So I think you guys are for sure like an alternative, but you're not anymore in the sense of that's how I see it, that I don't think you're an alternative still, because the solution provides a modern the PV Pro provides a modern solution to the modern problems that we have right now in the market. So I get what you're saying, and yeah, I agree, and it's
Mhm.
nothing
Yeah,
wrong.
some of the things we talked about that on top is like CDP with the data
Yeah,
activation. We've talked about this safeguarding users' privacy and embedding that in everything. Also, like with AI, that is definitely something that is on top of where Universal Analytics left. And then also, as one of your intro questions, we're also not tied into any ecosystem, but
yeah.
more into this when we talk about external integration, that we would like to integrate with any marketing stack and ensure that our users can use all the data they have in other systems and put it to work so they can get these insights and take action on that.
Yeah, and you're not conditioning people to anything. You just, have
Yeah.
an options for everything. I like that. Thank you for that, Christian. And I think that ends, all the winners. So congrats again, Doug Hall, Josh Silverbauer, Shiva Manjunad, Romil Santiago, Mikal Gonera, Jakub Nijinovsky, and thank you for posting your questions. You guys won a Piwik Pro hoodie. Make sure you reach out to Marcin about it and get your hoodie. And now, guys, I think my last question for both of you: what is the next big thing for Piwik Pro in terms of features and technologies that we didn't cover? That I forgot to ask you about anything in this, and you have upcoming, and you're dying to share with me and everyone else right now?
Yeah, no, I think a lot of the things we've covered, right? And I think also just more fundamentally, I also think that with the current state and the integrated suite we have now with Tag Manager, CMP, Analytics, CDP, and also this open integrations to the wider MarTech landscape we talked about, I think we are well positioned on helping our users to take kind of the next steps in moving into these more data driven decisions, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so what we are aiming for now and going forward is just to keep delivering on these key objectives that we've kind of set forth, that we've touched upon, like providing actionable insights. We want to provide users with an intuitive interface or through Power BI, enabling them to extract the insights and turn them into actions, right?
Yeah.
We have also touched about this privacy by design. So can we help users achieve this compliance without compromising the marketing goals? So again, safeguarding users' privacy but also still being enabled to take data-driven decision. So not feeling it as a obstacle, but more kind of easing out on that friction that you might see on marketing and privacy. That's definitely one that we're focusing on. And then again, the extending of the open platform approach, right? Give the freedom
Mm.
to connect and integrate all relevant data and that. So that's what we're kind of just keep focusing on, how we can deliver even better on those promises within our different modules in the product.
That's really exciting. How about you, Kuba? Will we see a public roadmap of everything soon?
Yeah, so it's more a question to Christian, but yeah, stay
I know
tuned for
it
that.
depends. It depends on you if it's possible. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, obviously. So when it comes to technology, I can like add two more points. So like first of all, like the AI, we covered it already,
Yeah.
but the thing here is that AI is not solution in itself. It's just a way to achieve our objectives, and
Mm.
those will be mainly connected with actionable insights. and to be able to really act based on what we have and
Yeah.
to activate that data possibly.
Mhm.
And second thing that we didn't mention earlier is the fact that with the release of real-time dashboards, we introduce a new real-time event streaming technology
Oh,
that will unlock some potential for the future for like innovation. And and here we can approach it using two ways. So first of all, it's a technology that makes it easier to deliver events in real time to our platform. So to work with that directly within our user interface. And this will be also something that unlocks the possibility to connect with wider marketing ecosystem in real time. And here we don't have details yet, but like from the technology point of view, we'll be ready. And now it's up to you, up to us to figure out what to do with that next, and up to the end users to provide their insights how this technology could be used going forward.
oh man, that would be so exciting for publishers. I can only imagine because I have some publisher clients which, and for them this is important because for them content and the validity of the content expires very fast. So like for people that produce content that has a very low, shelf life, this type of data that gives them insights into what they need to do now is so important. And uh, I remember Mark Edmondson said this at some point at a measure camp, like real-time data and real-time dashboards are great, but they need a real-time person that makes real-time decisions to be useful. So
So,
it's kind of like you're also gonna have to educate the market to make this type of and I expect, because I know you guys do great with documentation, and I have high expectations of you guys with documentations and content.
yeah.
So that would be something interesting to do to teach also, because if it's something new that you guys are bringing, it's an opportunity also for you guys to teach the community how to work with real time data. So I'm excited to see that also. Well, thank you guys so much for coming and sharing with us today. I feel like I wasn't ready for the real time dashboard stuff, so now I'm gonna go be excited and annoy Martin. Give me access before everyone else. And yeah, really, really excited to see, like what's coming up next, all the features. And thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat with me today.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, Juliana.